Okay, this week's question comes from Danny, who asks, realistically, how much weed is Ben going to buy on this trip? And we are fully prepared to do the math right now.
All right.
Okay, so Ben, how much weed have you bought so far?
2 grams.
2 grams, and we've been out here for 2 days. Realistically, how many days is that going to last you?
Maybe a month.
That'll last you maybe a month?
Yeah, I'm not...
I doubt it.
I doubt that too.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty fresh into this whole marijuana thing.
Here's the thing. If we were having people and friends over all the time, it wouldn't last that long.
I mean, yeah, you are the only one who smokes in this apartment.
I mean...
So... But...
Although she did say realistically in the question, and we don't have any friends, so...
Yeah.
Realistically, we're not going to have that many people over.
Like,
okay.
if we want to get, sort of hypothetical... I don't know.
All the weed?
Let's just pretend...
Let's round it up to, like...
Crazy party animals. Everybody in this apartment. As long as we're going hypothetical, let's just assume we're all, like, out of our minds 24/7. How much do you think that would take?
Okay. So 2 grams you think would last you how long, then?
I'm still sticking with possibly a month.
Okay, so that would be... I don't even need my calculator for this. That'd be... What?
Seriously?
All right.
He types it into his calculator anyway.
What's 2 times 6?
6 times 2, guys. Come on.
Are we?
We can do it.
We're bad at math.
What does your calculator say, Eric?
My calculator says 12.
Okay, let's check with another calculator just in case this one's wrong.
I went to Foley.
I'm going to pull up my calculator. Cal.
You know, the funny thing about this is you're saying that 2 grams is going to last you a month, and yet you're literally preparing to smoke weed right now while we're starting the podcast.
That was totally your idea, though.
Still, it's funny because you're literally doing it right now.
Yeah, but
you're like, this is going to last me a long time.
Do you know
I'm
how
not
much
going to smoke
this is, though? This is like an evening's worth.
An evening's worth, like a fine glass of wine at the end of the day.
For the previous band I was in, that was not an evening's worth. That was a, hey, let's smoke this before we smoke. It's like an appetizer.
That was the pre-smoke smoke?
Yeah.
But that is the beauty of having a lower tolerance, is you save a lot of money.
Yes, until you develop a higher tolerance, and then you don't save a lot of money.
Well, if you do it all the time, sure.
Ben, I'm not going to say if you can and can't smoke weed. I am just going to say that you are going to hell.
Right now, Ben Drake is smoking weed legally in the state of Washington inside of an apartment. No windows are open. We don't give any fucks.
Nope. I'm 21 plus.
Yeah. How old are you, Ben? Do you know? He's so high already. He doesn't know his age.
Actually, my birthday's coming up this month.
Is it really?
Yeah, 23rd of October.
Man, I should get you something.
Wait. You kind of did. So
I already did.
That's good. We're all good on that front.
You're welcome, Ben Drake.
What did you get him?
The thing he's smoking out of right now.
Oh.
I was like, hey, Ben needs one of these because then he won't smoke as much. He won't pack an entire bowl, and he can just poke his little oney. And
you're enabling him.
Like last night, as I was going to bed, I was like trying to pack the smallest amount possible into there because I just wanted enough to have fun sitting at my computer and playing video games. And I'm like, gosh, I had such a big bowl.
Okay, well, while Ben is lighting up, I guess I'm going to lead into the introductions.
Look, I'm Lil Wayne.
I hope your microphone catches on fire. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the all-new Insomniac Sadcast Seattle. Ooh. This is like, okay, like the original Insomniac Sadcast was CSI, and this is CSI Miami.
Right. Or like NCIS, wherever they went.
New Orleans.
New Orleans?
New Orleans, I think.
How many places did NCIS go?
I think just 3.
Just 3?
Yeah.
I watched the original series forever.
Yeah, it's still going.
We're getting off topic.
Like I said, brand new Insomniac Sadcast. I am Varric. And over here is Ben.
Hello.
And over here is Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam.
And as far as where the other member of the band, James, he is not with us currently. He is still in Minnesota, but we're working on getting him out here.
Yes.
We miss you, buddy. Please come home. Anyways, we, as a band, for those of you who don't know, have temporarily relocated to Seattle, Washington for the next 6 months while we record our debut full-length Insomniac album, which is pretty cool.
Which you've already got like 3 or 4 demos done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then bits and pieces of other stuff.
We're gonna have to write most of it out here in this little apartment, which has very thin walls, and the neighbors will probably hate us.
Yeah, the neighbors probably hate us right now for doing this podcast right here.
True.
Yeah.
Whatever. I met the neighbors. I met the upstairs neighbors, the downstairs neighbors, and the people across the hall. All very nice people. We shall get along with them, hopefully, very well.
They will learn to hate us like everyone else.
I've noticed about this apartment that not just the walls are thin, but the floor, like, if you walk pretty much at all, it's kind of loud. A little bit.
It creaks.
It creaks, and, like, if you're not, like, light on your feet, it's like you're stomping pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. It also might just be that we don't have a lot of, like, stuff in here, but I feel like sound echoes a lot in this apartment.
Yeah.
It seems to, but that's just an empty room, basically.
Yeah.
The only soft things we have in here is... Wait, is that merch box the coffee table now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We went to IKEA last night.
Yeah, we've done plenty of fun activities. I mean, Ben is currently in the process of fun activities.
Fun activities.
Fun activities. Should we talk about our first day in Seattle, which was yesterday?
Man, I don't know. I'm still recovering from that one.
We got so turned, and by turned I mean we went to IKEA.
IKEA.
Was that the first day? Yeah, because you guys got here really late.
Well, okay, technically speaking, we got in the day before, except it was like me and Ben got in really late at night. Sam
I got in, like
11-ish?
Yeah, you got in at 10. I got in at 11.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be 9:30 and I was like 40 minutes late.
Yeah. So you guys were really late, then we pretty much just moved most of your stuff upstairs, and then went to bed.
Yeah.
So then our actual first day was yesterday, sure. And we went to IKEA. What else did we do? We went to Jack in the Box.
Yeah, one of the first things we did was we got up and we went through a walk through Lincoln Park.
Crawling in my skin.
And we were making Lincoln
with one thing.
We were making Lincoln Park puns the entire way through. We went down this beach and looked at the ocean. Couldn't find any sea lions yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll catch one. Gotta catch them all.
We actually should have one on the podcast, I think.
Yeah. I got really sick because I'm really out of shape.
Oh yeah. Like we should actually do the math on what altitude we're at right now, and if we're actually higher or lower than where we were before, or if it was just the.
I think you're increasingly getting higher.
But that's true.
That's okay.
But like, you got kind of sick yesterday.
I'm still kind of sick. Basically,
Still feeling it?
It's partially like sinus stuff that I was kind of like fighting off like right before leaving. And being on the road and, like, driving, for, 10, 14 hours at a time didn't really help. And then on top of that, I got really bad altitude sickness through, like, Montana, and I'm still, like, kind of feeling some of it. It's just not very fun.
So, basically, we're all dead.
Yeah.
And the cost of living out here is horribly expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We're all broke as fuck. And we're going to try to write you guys an album, and it's probably not going to be worth anybody's time or money, but that's okay.
You say broke, like we don't have a lot of money, but we did make a decent amount of the GoFundMe.
True, which will definitely help.
Yep, we thank our supporters. You guys are crazy for
Thanks,
giving us
Mom.
your money. Thanks, Mom. Thank you,
James's mom.
Thank you, Riley Downs.
Did he give any?
He did. Well,
Thanks to Chris Hammond.
I don't think he did. I think he just went to jail instead.
okay, Riley Downs said he was going to give us money and never did.
And then he went to jail.
It's the thought that counts, though.
Yeah.
Free Riley Downs.
Hashtag free Riley Downs.
We should do a special edition where we sneak in and break them out.
We should.
I like that.
He's in there till like November, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
3 months.
We won't be back in
Damn.
time.
Yeah, no, he's there for 3 months. It's like it's a segmented sentence. I probably shouldn't talk about his criminal record on the Sadcast.
He killed a guy.
I mean, I feel like his friends know, and he put it out on Twitter, so it's not like he's...
Okay, well, here's the abridged version. Riley Downs is Batman. Mm-hmm. And
he's got to go in so that he can find a criminal that he needs information from.
Yeah, he's actually going in like undercover because at the same place that is holding him, the Joker is there. And
he's actually being housed at Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
No, the Joker's in Minnesota.
Yeah. Arkham Asylum got too full,
Stearns County Jail had an opening.
The economy, and everything, and then Stearns County Jail was willing to take him. And
But we had Chris Hammond gave us. Chris Hammond's a cool dude.
I love Chris Hammond. He's probably listening to this. I love
Did you say
Chris
something
Hammond.
about like how much farther this was in your guys' road trip?
What?
In the group
oh,
chat?
yeah, I did say that. Me and Chris Hammond went on a mini road trip. Basically, I was like, I really want to go hiking, and I want to go near Mount Rushmore and just hike around those mountains. So I like put on Facebook like a week before I was leaving. I was like, yo, who wants to go on a road trip with me to South Dakota? And like, I had met Chris Hammond once or twice at Varric's house. It's just Varric's friend, and we added each other on
Right.
Facebook. And he's like, I'll go. So like, I barely knew this guy. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we went on this like, what was it, like a 15-hour drive or something? No, it wasn't maybe that long.
Where'd you go to exactly?
Rapid City from, Malacca or so. Maybe it was only like 9 hours.
It should be. Yeah, it says about 9 hours.
Oh, okay, that was 9 hours. So
Still, that's a long time to just hang around somebody you've just met.
Right, and it was a good time. We went to a wedding together. On the way, I was like, "Hey, I need to stop at this wedding." It was Isaiah Folk's wedding.
From
And-
These Hearts?
Yeah, the drummer of These Hearts.
Name drop.
Name drop. Hey,
Ooh.
you guys, I know the guy from These Hearts that was in These Hearts when they were a thing.
Whoa.
And I got invited to his wedding and pretty much got laid.
Is that why you're so famous?
I mean, that's basically the only reason. It's crazy. The guys from another band were there. Who the fuck was that? I don't remember. It was fucking crazy. Name dropping everywhere.
Nah, man, Kanye was there, Beyonce was there.
Some little kid was there and asked me and Chris if we were gay because Chris was trying to teach me how to like ballroom dance or something or like salsa or something. And he comes up and goes, "You guys gay?" And then I think we're like, yeah, we are.
I mean,
I was about to say, you guys better have said yes.
if you can pass
yeah.
for it, why wouldn't you go with it?
Right. I mean, Sioux Falls, South Dakota is pretty open to that kind of shit, right?
Totally.
Sure.
Why not? I mean, here in Seattle, not accepted.
No, it turns out they hate gay people here.
Well,
Yeah.
we did make it to Seattle.
We did.
Yes, that's
Which was like
the
how
point
long
is
of
that
a
we got
journey?
here. It was
Technically 22 hours.
22 hours
22
spread up over like 2.5 days.
Well, there are a couple of things that I felt like slowed us down.
Yeah. Well, mostly you.
Mostly me. But also, Varric left like a day later.
Yeah,
Sam ended up going like, he was supposed to do it in the morning. We were all supposed to go leave in the morning. And then we're like spread everybody out for some reason.
Yeah.
we all had various things that were kind of keeping us from getting there in a timely manner. My thing was that I made the decision that I was going to stay in Minnesota an extra day and hang with some people. And on top of that, I am just in general an awful driver.
Yeah.
Right?
I am just really bad at it, so it took me a while to get
Now,
there.
my part of that was I was actually ahead of everybody.
Yeah, Ben was the only one who actually left the morning of October 3rd.
Morning we had planned on leaving. And I made it all the way to Miles City. Well, yeah. We went from Minnesota. I got to Miles City, Montana after passing through North Dakota. Go to sleep in a Walmart parking lot because hotels are expensive. And then I pull out and I'm going to McDonald's to use their Wi-Fi and I hit the brakes and I just hear like as I'm driving. And turns out my like rear brakes exploded ish. I mean they kind of fell apart more than exploded, but
And then what did you do, Ben?
I drove like 3 or 4, a decent amount more hours from Miles City to Butte, Montana, before I was like, yeah, I should probably not be on the road, because there's like 2 mountainish areas that come before Butte, Montana. Mm-hmm. You were all on them, I assume.
Right, yeah.
But
We
like,
got them,
there's
yes.
that, you see the sign that's like the truck 6% grade, whatever that means. What that means is you're going to be going down really quickly. And I was
Which
like
you need your brakes.
pressing on the brakes, and like I got to press them really hard, and I'm barely slowing down because it turns out backs were out, front rotors needed replacing.
So you're
And-
on like the brakes are basically hanging on by like this much.
Yeah, and I'm trying to-
what little brakes you had left, and
I'm
you were going
trying
through
to use
mountains.
them as little as possible, but I'm in a really light vehicle, a Dodge Neon 97, with a ton of stuff in it. So, like, the ton of stuff's making everything way faster than it would be. Like, I pressed the brakes a lot, and I was almost still going over the speed limit.
Yeah, that's
Which,
not a good time.
no. But
So
I
what
was
did
like,
you end up doing?
getting a hotel, because there was no way I was going to make it through Idaho. You guys went through Idaho.
Oh God! If you would have known, you'd definitely not have gone.
Well, that's what I thought. Is I didn't know. I asked somebody, and they said it was pretty gnarly, and I'm like, that's what I said, pretty gnarly, and I'm like, all right, let's stay here. Might cost a boatload of money to get my brakes fixed if that's what needs to happen. But if that needs to happen, it means probably me not dying.
Yeah, if you would have hit Idaho with those brakes, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my parents had like a monthly budget for car repairs. And they give it all to me. Thank
That's
you,
the most
parents.
responsible thing I've ever heard.
Right?
Monthly budget for car
You should
repairs.
see my dad's
Is that
budget.
irresponsible, or they have literally zero faith in your ability as a driver?
Well, it wasn't for me specifically. It was for the whole family.
The world. It's like, hey, somebody has car trouble? Well, we have a monthly budget. We haven't. It's the 30th. We haven't used our monthly budget. Hey, your car looks shitty. Here's $400.
Ben's parents like see a car pull over on the side of the road, just like, I will help you, friend.
That'd be nice.
So for the people listening, let's just diagram out like state by state what the drive was like, because I know for me, I've never been to this part of the country before, so I was just kind of playing everything by ear. I didn't know what to expect or anything.
Right.
So going through Minnesota, it's what you'd expect, Minnesota type stuff, nothing crazy. You hit North Dakota, and it is flat.
It is flat.
It is so flat, and the interstate that you're on has nothing near it.
Like, the weird thing was, like, I've seen flat like Indiana flat. And this is like Indiana flat, but the roads are a lot straighter at parts. And there's, like, no, like, Indiana's divided up into squares by trees, where in North Dakota you can just see forever.
Yeah, like if you're ever driving to North Dakota, bring a book.
Oh, it's the curvature of the earth I can see over there.
You don't have to look at the road. Just read a book. Just go straight and you'll be fine.
Like, just throw on cruise control, like, adjust the wheel so it's right between your knees. Just don't move your legs and just, get your John Green on,
Well, like...
Augustus dies at the end.
I don't, like, typically text and drive, but... Like, I didn't for the rest of the trip, but North Dakota, I sent a decent number of texts.
Yeah, North Dakota, I was browsing through Twitter while driving.
Yeah, I watched a lot of porn.
Like, as long as you keep the corner of your eyes where the lines are, you just stay in them, you're good. There's nothing's going on.
I'm gonna be honest, and if my mom's listening to this, I'm so sorry. And if anybody's really butthurt by this, I'm also not sorry actually at all to you. But I texted pretty much the whole time through the mountains and everything. I texted and like tweeted and like looked through Instagram and shit through like the whole fucking thing.
I don't think I touched my phone for any reason between like the border of Montana and the rest of Idaho, because it was all crazy downhill nonsense.
All right, so we got through North Dakota.
Okay, yeah, so North Dakota, flat as fuck. We get that. As soon as you hit Montana, like everything, like hills, like pop up out of nowhere. It reminded me kind of like the border between Minnesota and Wisconsin. Like if you're driving to Minnesota and you hit Wisconsin, you're gonna like just you're in Wisconsin because then just like hills and shit just pop up out everywhere.
Right.
It's like that going from North Dakota to Montana, except like turned up to 11, like even bigger. Ben grabbed a slice of pizza, so now you get to hear him chew for the rest of the podcast.
You're welcome.
Now you know it's a party.
Also, I eat pizza way faster than that. But the weird thing is that Montana gets more mountainous the more you go into it.
Right, like the further west you go, because you're going
Montana
into the Rockies.
was pretty gorgeous at points.
It was,
Butte, Montana, which if you don't know is spelled B-U-T-T-E.
but
Yeah, Ben. That's where Ben
Sure.
like ended up stopping and getting his brakes fixed the next day. Stayed in the hotel, or wherever. I ended up driving 12 hours to meet him there, and then I was just like, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna split the hotel cost with Ben, and we're gonna freaking have a slumber party, which I pretty much just passed out right away.
Right.
So, sorry, Ben.
I didn't even see. I planned on staying up to watch Rick and Morty.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
I fell asleep before it came on.
Oh shit! You were so excited too.
I know.
Oh.
If I'm in a bed, like, you know how I can fall asleep other places?
Yeah.
In a bed, there's just no chance.
You're done.
you're out.
Well, so we stayed there. We stayed in Butte, Montana.
I ended up, like, paying $2 or $3 to buy it on YouTube in the morning and watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
You bought it off YouTube.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it was a really good season finale.
That's good.
All right.
So me and Ben stayed in Butte, Montana. Ben was stuck in Butte, which is hilarious.
Right.
Stuck
Which is
in
like,
Butte.
it's a mountain through a valley of 2 hills.
Well, and the weird thing about pretty much any of these states was like there was like nothing, like not even a gas station for like the longest fucking time, and then like a small little city or something, and then suddenly, boom, here's like this big thing, and then gone again, like within like a flash. If you're on like 90, it is like, hey, look, there's a big old city, Butte. Oh, it's gone.
Did you see, like, somewhere when you're entering Idaho, there's, like, this town that you're above? Like, you can look over the road off the highway and see, like, the roofs of all the buildings.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool,
yeah.
actually.
So,
Yeah, Montana Drive wasn't so bad compared to like what was
the longest
to come. It was definitely the longest. Like I was like pulling my fucking hair out getting through Montana because I'm like I hate the state. I don't want to be in it anymore.
yeah.
Like North Dakota, like when I was passing through it, into Montana, I'm like, oh, thank God, another state. I'm so fucking happy. And then Montana is like twice as long.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's twice as long, but it seems like it.
It definitely seemed like it.
It's a lot longer.
Yeah, it was not very fun. But yeah, it did have a good view, and the roads weren't really that horrible going through the mountains. And then you hit Idaho, which...
As long as we're at this part, I want to say that I think my favorite part of the entire drive was between, like, Butte and then the mountains. Like, you get out of Butte, and it's like it's like downhill for a long ways.
Yeah.
Before you start going up again, but... You, like, pass through all these valleys, and you get to drive going, like, 80 along these big, like, roads. Like, there's a lot of room on the roads, I felt like, compared to other states.
I did find it really odd that, like, through the mountains and stuff, the speed limit was 80.
Yeah, but, like, that one part where you've got beautiful mountains all over the place and huge valleys and the sun's shining and you're driving on through, you were, like, an hour or two behind me, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Because you would have passed through the part at the same time, but... And, you get to drive like you're in a racing game, kind of, if you're used to driving in Minnesota.
Right. But yeah, Idaho, we didn't drive through Idaho. We only drove through Idaho for, like, what? That portion was, like, a half hour? Like,
Not very long. It was just, like, the tip
I think it was, like, 45 minutes at most. Because, yeah, like, geography lesson, Idaho is, like, it's, like, a box-shaped state, and then there's just this little slit. It's like someone took Oklahoma and just, like, turned it 90 degrees and put it up on its side. And we were driving through that little slit, which is all mountains. Not a single city. It's just entirely mountains.
Well,
and
there's, like,
big mountains.
Towns in the mountains, which is kind of cool.
My favorite part of Idaho was the fact that in Montana, like, you're kind of going up. Towards the end of Montana, you're going up gradually. And then, like, literally, once you see the sign for Idaho, and if you're in a manual car especially, you just go into neutral, and you, for, like, miles, just go downhill, and you're just... You're pretty much relying on your brakes. Like, it is just gravity taking you down. Right. And you're just getting taken down. One of the funniest parts to me, I think I told you guys this already, is that I forgot about Idaho.
And you forgot that we had to go to Idaho?
Yeah, I totally forgot. So, it said, like, mile marker 1, then mile marker 0, and then if you wanted to exit off here, there's a lookout point. So I did it, and I took off, and I wanted to see, like, this huge mountain, like, view or whatever they were saying. And it was, like, a little bit down the road, and then I got there, and Lookout Point was a ski resort that was closed because it's not winter. And I'm like, oh, that's not beautiful at all. But then I looked off, and you could kind of see into the distance, you could see, like, a little, like, mountain area, which was Idaho, but I didn't know it was Idaho. And I looked at it, and I had this, like, really realizing moment, and it was just, like, a beautiful moment. I'm like, there it is. Washington, the place I'm going to live for 6 months. This is a new chapter in my life. This is so amazing. And, like, I felt my heart was just so warm at that point. And I got back in my car, like, with this, like, huge grin. And I'm like, here we go. Here we come, Washington. Here we come. And then, welcome to Idaho. I'm like, fucking shit. This is wasted. I wasted all my heartwarming goodness on Idaho.
I want my moment back.
You can't draw that out of yourself again.
Well, and I thought, like, God, Washington's so pretty. And then you get through Idaho, and, like, it was a cool drive and a lot of mountains, really short. And then once you actually pull into Washington, it's, like, the flattest part of Washington, too. It's just like, hey, here's nothing. And I'm just like, this isn't beautiful or cool. No heartwarming anything.
I thought it looked kind of like an alien planet.
Yeah, it was like, what is it? Like, I just drove, like, hundreds of miles through mountains and stuff. Really cool. And then suddenly... almost to Tacoma, Washington, like, nothing. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, from
anticlimactic, really.
From Spokane until, like, almost to where you get to Seattle, it's just flat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, slightly tilted downhill.
Like, the worst, for me anyways, the worst part of the entire drive was the last 100 miles coming to Seattle. Because, like... It was partially because, like, I was worried about driving in the city because it turns out this city isn't the best to drive through. And who would have
I'd recommend taking one course in Minneapolis before you start on Seattle.
Yeah.
No kidding. So there was that, and I was just really tired because, like, I showed up an hour after Ben did, and I was a full day behind. And the only way I caught up was because I drove like over 14 hours in one day.
And I had to stay a night.
And Ben had to stay at night too. So yeah, I was like really, really tired and I just wanted to go home and sleep in my not bed. And so yeah, these last 100 miles, I'm just fucking exhausted and near panic, and I'm just like, I want to just fucking die, or I want to crash my car, be ejected from the car, and land in my apartment, and then just lay there for a week. But yeah, the last 100 miles, it was completely dark out, and then like when you got closer to Seattle, like there were more mountains and stuff you had to drive through. Like Seattle's like just like Seattle is like shoved between this mountain range and the coast. Like, someone got over these mountains a few hundred years ago and decided that I did not want to climb back. I'm just going to make a new city right here. At least that's the impression I got from it. And yeah, that was really weird. Not only that, but I distinctly remember driving through, like, I'm just outside of Seattle and, you know, driving through traffic and stuff. And I kept seeing signs, like, by the mountain saying blast zone up ahead.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to know what that meant because the picture in my head, it's probably not as cool as what I thought they meant.
Yeah, it definitely.
Oh, you mean like
cool.
just?
I didn't see anything.
Like I just thought it was going to be a bunch of guys sitting around setting off dynamite for fun.
Like when I think blast zone, I think they're like demolishing a building or something. Except you're in the mountains, so I'm like, dude, do I get to see a mountain explode today?
If only.
Right.
I never did find out what it actually meant.
Me either.
I
drove during the day.
Yeah, there was a set. Like, it was pure pitch blackouts. I couldn't see anything anyways.
My favorite sign was the runaway truck ramp in 2 miles.
Yeah, there were a bunch of those in Idaho. Runaway truck ramps. And I'm a little terrified as to what those are for.
It seems like they didn't bother making it the area so it wasn't dangerous. They're like, that's going to take $1 billion and a ton of work. Let's just have ramps in case the things go off.
Yeah, that's what they're for. I mean, I've obviously traveled a lot.
There's also,
but they're pretty common everywhere in mountains. Like
there was a chains required if lights are flashing.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that stuff means.
It means, in the winter, I would bet they flash if the roads are not in the condition for regular tires.
Right. Do they mean like chains like on the tires or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for like traction's sake?
Which makes me think, what if you just sat in that zone and sold chains? Make a boatload of money.
Pretty sure truck drivers driving through the mountains have chains. I'm pretty...
Well, sure, but other people might not.
Like, if we were truck drivers, we would need it, because we would not think to bring chains.
That's true. We would forget.
Like, okay, thinking back on it, like, the whole drive through, like, from Minnesota to Seattle, the only part that was really bad was driving on Interstate 5. That was...
Interstate 5 is the fucking worst thing.
It is the worst
Mostly
thing.
from today's experience, but I've had this experience before, and I knew it was coming, but I stayed in downtown Seattle too long, and then it was rush hour, and I'm like, better go home. And then I got onto 5, and I sat there for like fucking 20 minutes, and I was just like, I hate the fucking world.
You don't even...
And then I went to Target, and I bought a TV, and I bought a Blu-ray player, and I spent $400-some at Target, and I was like, fuck traffic. And then I came home, and I plugged my big-ass TV into the fucking wall, and I sat here in angst until we did this podcast.
How is that? Look good?
Looks all right.
Yeah.
We don't even have to go far on 5. Like,
Yeah.
No, not at all. But, like, seriously, I was on it for like 4 miles, and it was like 20-some minutes.
I feel like...
The shining line to all this is that we got to go to IKEA twice. And
True,
we've only
2
been
times.
here 2 days.
We should go every day.
This is every day.
If anybody has any suggestions on what we should do in Seattle besides go to IKEA and smoke weed, you should leave it in the comments. Is this going to be on YouTube?
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments. Subscribe.
Comment, subscribe, Insomniac.
Suck our dicks.
Give us your money. Give us your money.
So yeah, we also have if you're in the area, we have a show on Friday in Bremerton at I think the Charleston or something. You should definitely come. We're gonna be figuring some shit out.
playing a lot of covers.
Playing some covers,
Yeah.
playing some Sorgajira. Probably not playing a single Insomniac song.
Probably
Fuck it.
not. Probably not.
We can make tracks.
Make guitar tracks.
We can.
I suppose
not,
we
right?
could.
Do they have a PA for that?
I don't know.
You could ask the
Let's find
guy.
out.
Because that's actually not a bad idea.
Let's come prepared for both situations.
Although
right.
think about this. You'd have to adjust like the speed on all those tracks.
Yeah. Or I have to play them the actual speed.
Yeah, we have to play in the actual speed, and we would get so fucking confused.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
We're gonna see what the fuck we're gonna do. Come to the show. It's gonna be a train wreck. Just like our lives.
It'll be a good time. It'll be a fun time.
Just like the Seattle experience will be a good time.
So I guess we should probably go around the circle here, and we should each come up with a goal that we should do while we're in Seattle.
Okay.
we already have
and-
a couple of group goals.
Yeah. But
Like-
we should make up one now, and then at the end of the 6 months, see if we
Actually did
with the goals. You know?
We need like I was talking about this with you guys a little bit. We need like a hipster bucket list of like what are some of the staples of living in Seattle, and we just need to like just knock them all out. Like we've already done a couple of them. Like Ben smoked legal weed.
Yeah.
Police can't do a dang thing.
Yeah, I mean he is over 21, and we're in the comfort of our very expensive apartment.
True.
We have to go to Starbucks. It's definite. I have a gift card, so I'm gonna go either way.
You got a Starbucks gift card?
Yeah, it's a going away present. It was like
Oh my
the
God.
greatest
Oh my
present
God.
of all time. It was
That's-
it was a
that's
bunch
funny.
of stuff. It was like a weed mug, and it was a Starbucks gift card, a couple mixed CDs, sunglasses, a Seattle Seahawks bumper sticker. Just great. Mackenzie McCann, if you're listening to this, which I think you probably are,
She listens to all of them, remember?
You're the greatest. You listen to every single one of them, and you're a weird ginger feminist. But hey, I respect you. I respect the shit out of you.
Haha. Okay, so yeah, Ben, what is
Yeah.
something that should go on our hipster bucket list?
I've got like my personal goal, which is like release this EP, this album, and this album.
Yeah, but that's stuff you could have done in Minnesota. Like,
Sure.
what is something that you want to do because you could
Climb
only do
a
it
mountain.
here? Climb a mountain?
We're doing that next week, then.
Right. So I mean, I won't have to wait long.
True.
What's some other ones?
Get a girlfriend, get laid.
Specifically in Seattle.
Yeah, why not? You can't do it in Minnesota, apparently.
Oh!
Oh.
Throwing shade left and right.
Well, that's the end of this episode. I'm gonna
Right.
go get beat up now.
So Sam,
My goal?
yes.
Okay, here's a short-term goal. Short-term goal.
I swear to
is-
God, if you say get laid,
Long story
Yeah.
short.
because you can't do it either.
I know. I'm lonely. Is to learn how to make really good pad thai.
Okay, that's cool.
That's why I bought a wok today.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's for my pad thai
That's
experiment.
pretty sick.
And then my long-term goal is I'm going to try to lose weight. I don't know how much yet. Triple the amount that my mom loses in Minnesota. We have a bet going on.
Short-term
Ooh.
goal. Get a Snap Fitness membership.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always nice.
I'm going there tonight. Are you Barry come with?
Maybe.
Hell yeah. Ben? Well, you can't.
Can you sneak me in?
I guess. man.
I can
Go fuck.
give you my card.
I'd like to be on good terms with them
Yeah.
if I'm going to be getting a thing.
Barry, you have any goals?
Also, I told Paul we could hang out. On the internet.
The thing that's at the very end of my list is to vape out of a box mod that looks like a mason jar. That was the most hipster thing I could possibly think of.
No, hang on. Like, it's not even a box mod for a mason jar. You just took a mason jar and created your own vape.
That would be the thing to do.
Which I'm pretty sure you can do.
I want to find some good record stores. I actually left my vinyl collection all at home because I didn't have enough space to take it with.
Me too.
Me too.
I mean, my vinyl collection is Impending Doom, Still Dead Risen, Family Force 5, Diamonds in the Front, Party in the Back, and thrifts, like a pile of thrift store vinyls.
The
But-
two are very good. Those are two good
Right.
choices. But, Bill Cosby on vinyl is not a good thrift store find.
It was at like Disco Round in Wade Park or whatever.
You fail me.
Seriously. How many records do you have, Sam?
0.
Ooh,
So you say you left your vinyl collection at home.
Yeah, I hate myself.
you bastard. I don't think I have anything really else in terms of like Seattle specific goals.
Right.
But yeah, mason jar vape mod.
Let's visit Microsoft in Redmond.
All right.
Or Valve Software in Bellevue.
That's
Can we go to
that's very
Microsoft
close.
and I can ask him what the fuck is up with Windows 10?
Wait, do you have a problem with it?
No.
Next episode, we talk about Windows 10.
For hours.
4 hours.
I'm going to give my opinion on it, even though I've only used it for like a total of an hour and a half.
Hey, how long has this episode been going?
We're at the 34-minute
34
mark.
minutes. So,
Holy,
are
34
we,
minutes too long. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh.
Well, we can wrap up. Are there any anything else that we want to say about our first impressions of Seattle? This would be the time to say it.
It's like if you go there at night, it's like a beautiful, magical city.
And during the day, it's hell on earth.
Well, and I say magical, mostly meaning that the roads go all over the place through the mountains and curving and up and down, and it looks in the dark like it might be some crazy sky village.
I think that is what it is.
That makes sense. I like that.
Like I definitely feel like
High Bend. This is fun.
I definitely feel like Seattle is the kind of city that exists in a place where there should not be a city. You know,
Right.
kind of like Duluth.
Like this city was built in defiance of the mountains.
Right.
Oh, you think we can't build a city here?
Oh, we can, and we will.
The most progressive city of all time. Gays.
Ooh, I have
Abortions.
I have a goal. I have a goal we should add to the list. We should get married.
All right.
Yep.
You and me get married, and Sam marries us, so that we all got married.
Nate? Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
like I marry you both, and you guys marry each other.
Yeah.
It's just like a different version. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Your
Let's
license-
fuck it.
Let's
your
get married
license is
right
valid here,
next
right?
week.
Yeah.
Next week on Sadcast Seattle, Ben and I get married. Whoa.
Wait, does that cost money?
Does
A
it?
little bit.
Like
yeah.
for the license?
Yeah.
I suppose for applying for a marriage
This
license.
might not work as well as I thought.
Yeah. The GoFundMe money
Um,
money
yeah.
is
Perfect
actually
segue. If you
being
guys want
used.
to, if you guys want to pre-order our album, that is still available at GoFundMe.com/Insomniac. Amen.
help them get married.
Help us get married.
That's what it's going for.
That's what.
I think we should still aim for the 7 million so we can do a shot-for-shot remake.
$7 million, and we'll do a shot-for-shot remake of American Psycho.
All right, well, I guess that's the end of the episode. If you guys enjoyed this, let us know. If you didn't,
Rate 5 stars
just don't
and
fucking talk
add
to
us on MySpace.
Yeah, I don't know. This is on YouTube. If you think that's a bad idea, fucking let us know. Like, if we're like, hey, don't do that. Spend money and put it on iTunes. We might do it.
Yeah, if anybody wants it on iTunes, then you have to tell us.
Yeah,
Because
if you're okay with this just staying on YouTube, fuck it. We'll just keep doing it on YouTube. Don't tell us what to do. We're adult men living in a small apartment together.
in
And
a punk band.
we fucking do what we want, okay? Don't fucking talk to us. Don't comment. Don't subscribe. Peace out. This has been Insomniac Sadcast Seattle.
Really do.